Abdul, you as well. Please check your camera. Please open your camera. Mariam.
Yes, sir. 1 minute, I'm checking.
Check. Okay, now let's start the class. So in this chapter, okay, so chapter that we are going to discuss is the human eye, right? So human eye is the second chapter, basically related to the light chapter. So in this chapter, we are going to discuss the different phenomena and all the things, the function of human eye, defect of vision, and all the things, right? So the first thing that we are going to discuss in this chapter is the human eye, the function. Okay. Okay. So now let's discuss the eye part. Okay. So first of all, देखो, this is the well-labeled diagram of the human eye, right? So this could be a question in a school exam that draw or you can say draw a well-labeled diagram of the human eye. Okay, marking all the parts of the eye, right? Clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's discuss the you can say the different parts of the human eye line by order wise. The first thing that we are going to discuss is the iris, right? So iris is the part which basically is responsible for the control of the regulation of the amount of light. Okay. And suppose that basically iris is a pigmented structure in the human eye. You must have seen that there is a color in the islands. Yes. So that is basically your iris, right? Zana, what happened?
Yes, sir.
What happened? It seems you're a little bit exhausted.
I was just a bit sleepy.
ठीक है चलो कोई बात नहीं ठीक है so iris helps to regulate the amount of light ठीक है and okay so it basically tells that how much amount of light should enter into the eye without affecting the retina or the different part of the eyes, right, without basically harming them. Okay, next thing is basically pupil. So pupil is a black hole in the eyelids. You must have seen that black hole, right? So that black hole is basically the pupil, and basically it's the entrance to the eye. It is the entrance to the eye, just like the door. So that door basically shrinks and expands depending on the amount of light entering into the eye. If suppose that more amount of light is entering, so the pupil will shrink to avoid any, you can say, harm to the eye, right? So that the intensity of light will not harm. So it will reduce the intensity of light by shrinking it. And if the amount of light is low, so it will expand so that the more and more light could enter into it, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next, so as you can see, the amount of light received by the eye is large, then iris contracts and pupil and reduce the amount of light entering the eye. Next is if the amount of light received by the eye is small, then the iris expands the pupil so that more light may enter the human eye, right? Okay, sure. Next is retina. Okay, retina is the kind of screen of the human eye. The screen, you must have seen that if the human eye is producing a real image, obviously human eye produces a real image. So there should be a screen on which we can basically obtain that image, right? Right. So that retina works as a screen. And the next thing is that retina also works as the, you can say, it converts the light signals into the electrical signals. You must have seen that like our brain works on the electrical signals. So the conversion of light to basically electrical signals is done by the retina, right? So that's why the image formed after the refraction of light is on the eyes on a screen called retina, and the another form is basically another function of the retina is to convert the light rays into the electrical signal so that the basically our brain can manipulate it and we can see the image or we can see the surrounding of it, right? Chalo, that's great. Next is cornea. Cornea is the outermost layer of the eye. You must have seen that a very white and transparent layer of the eye. So that is basically your cornea. So it is the outermost layer and it refracts the 65 to 80% of light that is entering into the eye. It means that it basically converts them towards the eyelids. 65 to 75% of the light is converged through the retina itself. Sorry, cornea itself. Okay, so that more and more light could enter into the eye to basically obtain a very clear image. Am I clear?
Yes.
Sure, that's great. So cornea is just to basically, uh, you can say a refraction surface, right? Another thing about the cornea is that cornea is basically works as a kind of you can say shield, okay, to the outer world. So it basically it does not allow anything to enter into the eye because cornea is there, so it will basically stick it. So cornea is the outermost partner, so that's why it will not allow any dust particle or anything that should enter into the eye. Okay. Next is the eye lens. So we have seen this thing. Our basically eye lens is there. So there is a eye lens basically refracts the amount of light coming into the eye. So the lights are basically coming into the eye, so that will refract towards the retina. Okay, because the image is formed on the retina after refraction. Clear?
Yes.
Zainab, Mariam, Junaid, and Abdul.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay, sure, that's great. So eye lens refracts the light rays coming to the retina to form image. Okay. Next is ciliary muscles. So ciliary muscles are those muscles which basically holds the islands at a fixed point. So basically our islands is basically nothing but is placed at a fixed point. It is it is not movable, right? So that the ciliary muscles hold it basically in a proper shape so that it does not basically slips or basically displaced from its original position. And it also helps to change the focal length of the islands. It means that it also helps to basically the islands would make thick or it will thin depending on the condition. So that basically is done by the ciliary muscles, right? Right, everyone? Zainab, Mariam, Junaid, and Abdul.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure, that's great. Chicken, that's great. Okay, so these are the four basic parts. Next is the aqueous humor. So aqueous humor is a kind of jelly-like liquid, jelly-type liquid that is basically present in between the area of eyelids and the cornea, right? So that basically provides the nourishment and the nutrients that helps basically that you can say completes the nutrition to the eyelids and cornea because there is no blood supply in that region. So that's why the aqueous humor is present between them, right?
Yes.
Next is vitreous humor, right? Vitreous humor is very similar to aqueous humor, but vitreous humor is present inside the eyeball. The eyeball, basically, vitreous humor helps to maintain the spherical shape of the eye, right? It basically maintains the proper pressure inside the eye so that the eye is completely in spherical shape. Okay? So that basically. And another thing, vitreous humor do is that it basically helps the basically provides the nourishment to the inner part of the eye. Okay, so both aqueous humor and vitreous humor provides the nourishment to the eye. Clear, Junaid, Mariam, and Zana?
Yes.
Yes.
That's great. Sure, that's great. Okay. Next thing is that optic nerve. Okay. So optic nerve is basically a kind of wire from retina to brain. So optic nerve will carry the electrical signals converted by the retina to the brain itself because brain is a CPU of our body, right? Brain will process the signals and it will produce and it will basically you can say order the eyes to see that vision, right? So that's how the optic nerve is used in the eye, for we can say eye structure. Am I clear?
Yes.
Okay. Next thing is that, so basically in the retina, bacho, we have two types of cells. First one is rod cells, second one is cone cells. So basically the function of both the cells are different, or you can say opposite to each other, right? So first is rod shaped cells present in the retina are sensitive to the dim light. It means that whenever you are entering into the dim light area or whenever you're in a dark room, the rod shaped cell will activate and it will basically gives you the vision. Basically it will help you to see the surrounding, right, by activating the sensors that is present in the retina for the dim light, right? You must have seen that camera is automatically basically like the flash is automatically switched on in the dim light of the mobile. So rods are very similar to that. You can relate that thing, right? So basically, the rods will activate like once you enter into the dim light region, right? Clear,
Yes.
everyone? Chalo, that's great. Next is cone shaped cell. So cone shaped cell is a very, like, as the name suggesting, so that would be a cone. So triangle type thing. So cone shaped cell present in the retina are sensitive to bright light. It means that they are basically they gets activate once they are exposed to the bright light. Okay. So that's why they are called uh, like, and also they gives you the sensation of colors. It means that the world we see in colors is due to the cone cells. ठीक है, the cone cells present in the retina. Okay, so that's give you the sensation of color, whether it's black, blue, yellow, green, and all the things. Okay, and basically they do not work in the dim light. They are basically not activated in the dim light. Okay, clear, everyone?
Yes.
Sure, that's great. Okay, now let's talk about the normal eye properties. So these are the things that you should understand for the eye, right? Any doubt so far to anyone?
No.
चलो ठीक है. Next is the, now let's understand some properties of the human eye. So that is the normal human eye can see the distant object as well as the nearby object due to its power of accommodation. Right? Power of accommodation is basically the ability to see the nearby as well as the distant objects clearly without any problem. Okay? By adjusting the focal length. Am I clear to all of you? Please do let me know. Mariam, Zainab, and Abdul. चलो ठीक है. Junaid, clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
ठीक है. An eye can focus the image of the distant object as well as the nearby objects on its retina by changing the focal length, right? This ability is called the basically accommodation. This ability to change the focal length is called the accommodation of the eye lens. Clear, everyone? That's great. Acha, one more thing about the eye lens is basically the rays of light coming from a distant object are parallel. So as you can see this thing that the distant object, light rays coming from the distant object will be parallel. Okay, and it will merge at the retina. Okay, say yes or no, clear?
Yes.
Sure, that's great. So whenever the light rays coming from the distant object, so it means that the focal length will be focal length will increase and the lens will be thinner. Okay, because the eye lens will, because that's how the image formed will be at retina. Next thing about the eye, basically the basically nearby object is that the rays of light coming from a nearby objects are diverging when they reach the eye. So whenever the light originating from a nearby objects, so the light rays would be you can say diverging. Clear? And that's how they will reach at the cornea and will merge at the retina. Okay, so the eye lens will become thin in that thick in this process and the focal length decreases. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Chalo, that's great. Okay, and one more thing about the normal eye has a power of accommodation which enables object as far as from infinity as close as 25 centimeter to be focused on the retina. Okay, so a normal human eye can easily focus the far objects as from the infinity as well as the near objects at the 25 centimeter. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Just a second. Just a moment, Bachchu. Let me have a drink. Sorry. Okay. Next is basically the farthest point of the human eye is called as the far point of an eye, and that is called infinity. Basically, the far point is basically your infinity. Okay. Okay, everyone. So the in human eye can see the infinite. As you can see this thing that from the eye can see the stars. You can see the stars. The stars are billions of kilometers away from the Earth. right? So as you can see, like stars are almost at infinity. We cannot reach to the stars because we don't have that much fuel, or you can say the technology to reach the stars. So that way we can consider that point as the infinity, because we cannot reach. Infinite is the point at which we cannot reach, right everyone? So that's
Yeah.
why the farthest point of the human eye would be the infinite. Okay, it would be infinity. Next is basically the near point. So near point is the eye up to which the human eye can easily see without any constraint or strain, is called the near point of the eye. That is the 25 centimeter from the eye. Clear everyone? Okay. Next
Yes.
is, okay, now let's talk about the definition. What is called minimum distance of, basically least distance of distinct vision. So basically the minimum distance at which an object must be placed so that the normal eye may see it clearly without any strain is called the least distance of distinct vision. It means that this distance is basically the distance at which the two objects can be identified as separately. Okay? That's why it is saying the least distance of distinct vision. Distinct word is used. Am I clear to all of you? Please do let me know, everyone.
Yes.
Chalo, that's great. So, and this distance is basically 25 centimeter from the human, for the human eye. For the human eye, the 25 centimeter is the point at which we can see the two objects distinctively. Okay? That's great. Next is the range of a human eye is basically from starting from 25 centimeter to infinite. Okay? Any doubt so far?
No.
Okay, chalo, that's great. Next is the basically, now let's understand this. You can say the will fill in the blanks. Okay, so that is the most of the refraction of light entering the eye occurs at the outer surface of the cornea. Okay, so cornea is the point at which the refraction will happen, maximum refraction. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Next is the part of eye sensitive to light is retina, because retina is the point at which the image is formed and it is converted into the electrical signal. So that's why it is the your basically you're sensitive to light. Okay. Next is the part of eye which alters the size of pupil is iris. So iris is the part of eye which basically changes the size of the pupil. Okay. Next is when the light is dim, the pupil becomes large. So as I've told you that when the light is dim, so the pupil will expand so that more and more light could enter into that black hole. Clear?
Sir,
Yeah.
Yes, Janab.
rods and cones are also located in the retina, right?
What?
Rods and cones.
Rods and cones are basically present in the retina. That is basically those are cells of retina. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And the iris is basically, the iris controls the amount of light entering into the eye. Okay. Next is ciliary muscles control the shape of the basically control the shape of the eyelids. So basically eyelid, well, basically ciliary muscles are the you can say part of the eye that helps to basically that helps to change the shape of the eyelids, and basically it depends whether it will be thick, it will become thin or thick depending on the object placed, right? If the object is at far points, or the lens will become thin, and if the object is at low, like a very near point, so it will be thicker. Am I clear to all of you? Okay.
Yes.
Next is to bring the light from a distant object to focus to focus on the retina of the eye, the convex eye needs to be made thinner. If the as I have told you that the bring light coming from the basically the light coming from a distant object, so that would be thinner. The lens will become thinner to focus the light rays on the retina. Okay? And when the object is nearby, the lens will become thick to focus the eye, basically those rays on the retina itself. Okay? Any doubts so far to anyone? Please do let me know, everyone.
No.
No.
Chalo. Okay, that's great, everyone. Okay, that's That's great. Okay, now let's understand the next type of thing. Yeah, that is the defect of vision. Okay, so defect of vision is basically the problems that is created or developed into the in the human eye due to some, you can say, genetics or some like normal mutations, and maybe some like our habits. So these are the things that we face in our day-to-day life, right? So basically myopia is the first basically there are two defects which can be cured using the spectacles. Presbyopia is a, you can say, basically, or defect in which basically the it can be cured, but it will increase day by day because of the aging of the human body, right? So presbyopia is basically occurs due to the aging of the human body. Okay, so that's a natural process, but myopia and hypermetropia are basically the defects that is developed due to some reasons and the weakness of the eye and something like that. Clear? So now let's understand it properly. So myopia is the defect of vision due to which the person cannot see the distant object clearly, but can see the nearby objects clearly. Clear? So he can see the nearby objects, but he cannot see the distant object clearly. Okay. It means that the far point of the eye suffering from myopia is less than infinity, because the myopic eye infinity point is shifted towards the eye. Okay, towards the human eye. It will be less than infinity. Am I clear to all of you? The person will not be able to see the much more like at a larger distance. Okay, so that's why the far point is decreased. So can anyone tell me, will the focal length increase or decrease in that case if the far point is getting decreased from infinity to at a certain point?
It'll be thinner. The
Yes,
focal length,
Junaid,
the
focal length
focal
will
length lessen. It'll be thinner.
decrease. You are saying to, you want
Yeah,
to say this
decrease.
thing?
Yeah, sorry,
Decrease.
decrease.
Okay, okay. Zainab,
Decrease.
decrease. What about you, Mariam and Abdul?
Sir, decrease.
Decrease. Abdul?
Decreasing,
Yes, Abdul, you said something.
decreasing.
Decreasing.
Yeah.
Yes, it will decrease because as you can see this thing, basically the point at which the image is formed is basically decreased. So it means that the focal length is decreased and the eye lens will become thinner. Sorry, thicker. Because the focal length is decreased, so it will become thicker. So then let's talk about, so defect of vision called myopia is caused by two factors. Major factors are these two factors. Apart from them, like it could be genetics, it could be screen time or anything else due to the weakness. But the major causes are these two causes. So that is that due to the high converging power of the eye lens. So the eye myopia is caused due to the high converging of the power. It means that the lens will become thicker. Due to that, the eye lens will converge the rays at a shorter distance instead of the retina. Clear?
Yes.
Next is the next cause is basically due to eyeball being too long. So as you can see, this thing sometimes happen that the eyeball becomes elongated, a little bit ovalic in shape. So that's why the image formed, like the rays are not getting converged at the retina. Clear, everyone? Any doubt
Yes.
so far to anyone? Sure, that's great. So basically, we will discuss the ray diagrams in the next class. Right now, we are going to complete the theory of this. Okay. So, and we will see the numericals as well in the next class. Okay. So now let's and one more thing. So basically, correct the myopic defect. So we use concave lens to decrease the converging power, because diverging means will be the opposite of converging. So because we want to decrease the diverging power with the converging power, so that's why we are introducing the concave lens that will decrease the converging power of the eye lens. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Sure. Next is, so myopic eye is corrected by the spectacles using the concave lens, right? And the whole purpose of using the concave lens is to reduce the converging power of eye lens, right? Clear, everyone?
Yes.
That's great. So Yeah, so these are the 3 ray diagrams that we will discuss in the next class. Okay, so these are the examples we will do in the next class, but right now we just wanted to cover the theoretical part right now. So hypermetropia. Next is basically hypermetropia. So hypermetropia is the defect of vision due to which a person cannot see the nearby objects clearly, but he or she can see the distant objects clearly. Okay? Clear, everyone? So as you can see that you must have seen that some of the you can say the like person basically used to basically read something from a very far distance, like a very little bit more than 25 centimeter. So because of that, because they are not able to see the nearby objects clearly, so that's, and due to that, the near point is shifted away from 25 centimeter. It means that the focal, basically you can say the near point is increased. Okay, so it is greater than 25 centimeter. So can anyone tell me what should be the basically the you can say nature of the focal length? Will it increase or decrease in this case? Just tell me, everyone. Will the focal length increase or decrease in this case?
Will increase.
It will increase by Mariam or Zainab?
Maria.
Okay, Mariam, check it. If the person is suffering from hypermetropia, so what will be the nature of the like what will be the effect on the focal, basically the focal length? Will it increase or decrease?
Increase.
Increase? Yeah, so it will increase because in that case, the eye lens will become thinner. Okay. So okay, so the near point of the myopic eye is more than 25 centimeter away from the eye. Clear, everyone? Okay, that's great. Next thing is that this defect is due to the two things. First one is that due to low converging power of the eye lens, it means that the human eye lens is not able to converge those rays at the retina. Okay, so this is the first case. Second case is basically the eyeball has become too short. So that's why the rays are getting passed through the retina and the image formed is behind the retina. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
So these are the two major causes. Apart from that, it could be genetics, it could be anything. But these are the two main reasons that you have to at least write in the exams to obtain the marks. Because ultimately you have to give exams. Right? CBSE examiners are going to check your papers. So they will find these, they are gonna find the keywords, like whether you have written this or not. Is this clear to all of you? Please do let me know, everyone.
Yes, sir.
Chalo, that's great. Okay, so these are the things that we will discuss. So acha, as you can see this thing, our converging power is decreased, so we need to introduce one more converging lens to increase the converging power. So that's why we use convex lens to introduce the converging power. Am I clear to you, Bichu?
Yes.
That's very good. Okay, so that's why a convex lens is introduced to increase the converging power of the eye lens. Okay, and basically this is the correction of hypermetropia. But the whole purpose of using a convex lens here is to increase the converging power of eye lens. It means that we have to increase the converging power. So we need to introduce the converging power lens, right, everyone? Converging nature lens. So that is the thing. Please do let me know, everyone, if this is clear to you till now or not. Abdul, Mariam, Junaid, and Sanab. Be honest with me, everyone. If you have any doubt till now, just let me say yes or no. Do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, Mariam. Zainab,
No, sir.
Junaid,
No.
Abdul.
No.
Okay. Abdul, why did you switch off the video? Che? Please switch it on, because if you are there in the class, you should interact facially. I just wanted to know that what is your facial expression, because that's how the class should be conducted. Okay? So if facially interact with each other, so that would be much more beneficial for you, right? So please switch it on. Okay, so and the whole purpose I've told you that is using a convex lens is here to increase the converging power of the eye lens. Clear? Sure, that's great. Just a second. Okay, now the next thing is basically presbyopia. So presbyopia is like a kind of defect in which basically it is due to the aging of the human body, everyone. So basically you must have seen that like the old age persons are not able to see the nearby and the far objects clearly, right? So they have to basically put some strain on the eyes to basically see the complete clear vision, right? So basically, in the presbyopia, there are two possibilities. First possibility is that the person is not able to see the nearby objects. Okay, that is similar to hypermetropia. And the another possibility is that the person is not able to see the nearby object as well as the distant objects clearly. So both the possibilities are there, right? So majority of the cases will basically comprise of when the object when like the person is not able to see the nearby as well as the distant objects clearly. So majority of the cases will be this. Okay. So presbyopia is the defect of vision due to which an old person cannot see the nearby object as well as the far objects due to less power of accommodation of the eye. So due to the aging of the human eye, so the ciliary muscles are not that much strong that basically change the focal length in a quick succession, right? So basically it requires a little bit of time, and basically and the ciliary muscles also loosen the grip of the eye lens, right everyone? Okay. Am I clear? Zainab, Junaid, and Mariam and Abdul. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sure, that's great. Okay. So in the basically the near point of an old person is basically of an old person is having presbyopia gradually recedes and become much more than 25 centimeter. So it means that person is not able to see the nearby objects clearly, and the far point is also less than infinity for the presbyopic eye, because the person is not able to see the distant objects clearly. So both myopia and the combination of hypermetropia and myopia is basically your presbyopia. So how it can be cured? Like not cured, it can be like minimized, because when the human body ages, so it's not possible to reverse the age of a human body. So this presbyopia will increase day by day gradually. Okay. So as you can see this image of the basically spectacles, you can see this thing now that basically there are two lenses present here. First one is this, second one is this. This type of lens is called, or spectacles is called bifocal lens. Bifocal lens. It means that bi means two lenses are there. So the lower lens is basically your convex lens that is used to require the see the nearby objects clearly, because convex lens is used to see the nearby objects clearly, everyone. Hypermetropic case. So as like you must have seen this thing when the old age person, like our grandparents, or maybe some students must have like the parents in that age. So they used to basically place the spectacles at this point, at the tip of the nose, to see the to read the newspaper, any kind of book. How many of you have seen this thing? When the like old senior citizens, like they basically put the basically your spectacles at the tip of the nose. Okay. So to basically read the nearby things. And if they if they want to see the distant object, they basically push it away and basically place it to the middle of this nose, so that they can see the far objects, because at that time concave lens is required to see the far objects. My myopic case. Am I clear to all of you?
Yes.
Any doubt so
Yeah.
far?
No, sir.
Chalo, that's great. Okay. So that's how the presbyopia is basically is minimized. It cannot be cured at all, because like myopia and hypermetropia can be taken, like can be like you can say can be cured. Because if you take the proper treatment, the spectacles for a specific amount of time along with the vitamins and like nutrients, so the myopia and hypermetropia can be cured. But presbyopia cannot, because it is due to the aging of the human body. It's a tendency, right? So because our all like the bones of a human body will become weaker day by day when the person basically ages. right? So that's why the old age person are not able to walk properly due to the pain in their bones. Arthritis, this word is used so because they are suffering from the pain in their bones, in the joints. Okay, so these are the things that basically is associated with the aging of a human body. Am I clear to all of you? Mariam, Zainab, Junaid, and Abdul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chalo, ठीक है. Okay, the last thing, as you can see, this is the, so there is no calculation or nothing is there in presbyopia as well as the cataract. So cataract is also a kind of medical condition in which the lens become cloudy and which leads to the blurry vision. So it means that it's a kind of layer is formed on the cornea, eye lens, a whitish layer is formed. Okay, so that will basically does not allow to see the clear image. Right, just a second, let me show the image. Is my screen visible to all of you? So there go. The islands, this part is completely, this iris, pupil, and islands, this part is completely white, right? Is a kind of layer is formed, right, everyone? This is not a normal eye. So this condition is called cataract. Just as did you see this thing? This eye is suffering from cataract and this eye is normal. So there is a difference now, kind of milky vision is formed, everyone. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what basically your, देखो, here it is. It is basically the starting of the cataract. It is basically the starting because it is covering the pupil. It does not allow to enter the light rays. Okay. So these are the examples of the cataract. So as you can see it from the screen. Okay. So this is the just surgery correct cataract. So as you can see this thing, that this is the before eye before the surgery and this is the after surgery. It's a kind of, see, you can see like a cover is formed, a milkish layer. So it will be a little bit jelly type thing. So that is used, that is removed from the surgery itself. There is no medicine for that. You have to, like, the doctors have to perform the surgery to basically avoid, to basically avoid the loss of vision. Right, everyone? So in cataract, there is a high possibility that the person will lose the vision because the cataract is very severe disease, a medical condition. Like if it is not treated properly, the person will basically lose his or like his or her basically vision. Okay, so that's why the vision of the person can be restored after surgery only. Only surgery can be performed to you can say to restore the vision. Am I clear to all of you? Please do let me know, everyone. Is there
Yes.
anyone who is having doubt till now? Mariam, Junaid, Zainab, and Abdul.
No.
Chalo, that's great. Okay, just a second, everyone. Chalo, that's great. Yeah. Okay, so basically there are more two things. So basically gift of vision. So what do you understand by gift of vision means that the Allah has given two eyes, right? So that you can see the wider field of view, right, everyone? So it will increase because if we have one eye, we can see the straight or right side only. If we have the right eye only, so we can see the only right side and the straight side, right? If we have the left eye, we can see the left and only the straight, right? But we have two eyes, so we can see that 180-degree complete because we can turn from left to right. So that is basically 180-degree. Clear, everyone? So that's why it gives you a wider field of view. And okay, next is basically two eyes enables us to judge the distances more accurately because that will enhance the more like basically enhance the accuracy to a very greater extent as compared to a single eye. Right, everyone?
Yes.
Okay. So that's how the defects of vision is, that like we have revised. Okay. So in the next class, what we will do is that we will do the ray diagrams of this, and we will do the numericals based on that. Am I clear?
Yeah.
Acha, everyone, please tell me, like, so how many of you basically are revising continuously from the notes? Like, it's a little bit discussion part because we have completed this topic. I just wanted the insights. How many of you are going through the notes, and how many of you are practicing the notes numericals as well as the NCRT numericals? Mariam, let's start with you.
Yes, sir.
I'm asking how many, how frequently you are revising the notes.
Sir, we are doing this lesson in school also, so I'm going with them.
Okay, you are going with them. Chalo, theek hai. It means that that would be a kind of revision for you because we have already done this topic in the class.
Yes, sir. And our teacher is also giving worksheets in class, so I'm trying to solve them.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, after the worksheets, na, Mariam, do one thing, bache. Always try to solve the examples of NCRT and exercise of NCRT because the question is from NCRT ultimately, right? Because
Yes,
PYQ
yes.
is nothing but your NCRT, or basically the values will get changed from it. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
that's why please, or after the worksheet, okay, worksheet is also important. That will give you a diverse collection of the questions, right? So that's why
Yes, sir.
please do the NCRT questions as well, Mariam. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, Abdul, yes, tell me. Are you revising the notes and the numericals in the notes?
No.
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 Why? Abdul, you have to work hard. I have checked your sheets, and from that, you have to work hard. You have to revise a lot. It seems that you are
Yes.
not studying at all. Okay. It's a humble request. Please do start the revision. Right now you have
Yes.
still time, like we are doing the revision itself. If you have doubt, you can tell me in the class. If you have doubt in the numericals, we can solve it in the class. Or if you have doubt like solving something else and you get stuck, you can share in the on the official number. I will try to basically share it with you with the solution. But the thing is that you have to work, right?
Yes.
Unless and until you are not working on it, so I won't be able to help you, because the thing is that if you are working, because ultimately you have to give the exams, Abdul. You are going to sit in the exams, right? So what I can do is that I can guide you, I can help you, I can support you. But the thing is that you have to fight. You have to go into the field, right? The teacher can only train the students, but ultimately if they want to survive, they have to basically go into the field by their own, right? So will you do the revision from now onwards, Abdul?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And numericals portion? Yes, Abdul? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So first of all, let's start with the notes and solve the questions in the notes itself. Try to solve it on your own. If you're getting stuck, so what you can do is that you can see the solution, then again solve it again, like again solve it, okay,
Mm.
by on your own. So that's how you can practice. Clear, Abdul?
Yes.
Sure, that's great. Yes, Junaid. Are you revising? Yes, Junaid, yes or no?
No.
Why? Junaid, you need a lot of hard work right now. From the sheets, you can you can basically identify that thing, right? You need to work hard. You need to revise. Please do the revision, Junaid, because you are lagging from other students. Okay? So please
Okay.
do the revision. Yeah, please do the